Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Cadet Second Samuel Smith, held Master of Ceremonies and State Graduation Activity. The reviewing party consists of Brigadier General Paul F. Bishop, Chief of Staff of the New York Air National Guard. He is joined by Cadet Miley of the 152nd Air Operations Group, representing the 174th Attack Range. Also joining us today is Senator Chris Ryan. The Camp Commander is Major Mike Esky from East Durham, New York. Deputy Commander for Operations is Major Frederick Fears from Scotia, New York. Deputy Commander for Support is Major Benjamin Cassidy from East Durham, New York. The Unit Commandant Cadets is Captain Jacob Enty from Clarence, New York. Also in attendance is Colonel William Martin, the New York Wing Commander. Please cheer your cadets as they take the parade field. Cadet Commander will now signal the action of the start of the ceremony.
The starters and athletic members guidelines are centered for the presentation of honor guard, fire flight, and warrior flight. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem. like to present Captain Anderson for the invocation. Captain.
Good afternoon, good morning. I invite you to pray, meditate, and reflect after your faith tradition as I pray after mine. Almighty God, we invite your presence into our gathering. We celebrate the accomplishments of students and staff. We celebrate the festive, joyful reunions of cadets and their families. We are thankful to have seen cadets overcome obstacles and continue to learn the valuable lessons of followership, judiciousness, and respect, capped by the examples of leadership. Thank you for guiding each student who worked hard as first-time students during the wonderful advanced training play. For the long days, the lessons learned, and even the small joys, like getting 2 snacks when you needed a boost. You care not only for the milestones, but also the moments. As your word says in 2 Chronicles 16:9, for the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong. We have seen that strength in action through encouragement when spirits were low, endurance when days were long, and unity when it was needed most. Now as these cadets go forward, more prepared, more focused, and more grounded, I ask your continued blessing on each one, and on the families who support them. May they carry with them the lessons of this encampment and the knowledge that you are with them always through the round robins of life. We are truly thankful for last evening's social as we experienced friendship, joyfulness, and recreation. And finally, let us model excellence in all we do to ensure we never taint the legacy of all those who have faithfully served until their full. Bless now this event and the milestones achieved this week. Amen. Amen.
Thank you everyone for attending the 2025 NYWG Encampment Passing Review Ceremony. I can assure you that everyone here has worked very hard these past 8 days. It was a challenge. We kind of took that out of the comfort zone for each and every cadet has successfully completed. They pushed through and they learned leadership. Let me start with some opening remarks. Cadets, family, and distinguished guests. And members of Civil Air Corps. Good morning and welcome to the graduation ceremony of the 2025 NYWG Encampment here at Hancock Field, Air National Guard Base. I am Major Michael Cassidy, and it is an absolute honor and privilege to stand before you as the commander of this year's encampment. Over the past 8 days, I have witnessed something incredible, something powerful. I have watched young men and women transform. They arrived unsure, nervous, and maybe even a little scared. I'm sure you guys were a little scared at those faces when you showed up. But today, they stand taller. They speak with confidence. They carry themselves with pride. And as of today, they are leaders to make it. This encampment holds a very special meaning for me. I have the distinct honor of serving as the second encampment commander since we brought the NYWG Encampment here at Hancock Field, Air National Guard Base. I succeeded Lieutenant Colonel Christian Granda, who led an incredible foundation and enduring a culture of excellence, vision, and heart that has shaped everything we have done this week. His leadership created the framework that allowed this encampment to thrive. I stand on the shoulders of a leader who believed in this program, he believed in this encampment, and lastly, he believed in all of these cadets that are sitting here in front of me today. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Carmel, wherever you are. To our in-flight cadets, you have just completed one of the most challenging and rewarding weeks of your life. You faced early mornings, long days, high expectations and pressure. You've been tested both physically and mentally, and even emotionally, and none of you have given up. You stood shoulder to shoulder with strangers who are now teammates. You learned discipline, followership, leadership, and self-control. You learned how to work as a team, how to trust in others, and how to trust in yourself. And most importantly, you all discovered that you are capable of more than you had ever thought was possible. This week was not just about uniforms, drill, PT, early wake-up calls. It was about transformation. You walked in as civilians in a uniform. You leave here as cadets with new leadership and growth opportunities within the Civil Air Patrol. You represent the next generation of service, character, and last but not least, a new commitment to America. We live in a world that needs leaders, not just commanders, but real leaders, people with integrity like yourself. People who serve others before themselves. People with moral courage who are willing to stand up when it's easier to stay silent. This week, you all took the first step to becoming this kind of leader. And I'd like to take a moment to address the parents, guardians, and families who supported these cadets. We dropped them off last week with mixed emotions, unsure of what the week would bring. But let me assure you that these cadets have done something extraordinary these past weeks. You should all be proud beyond words that they have joined a legacy, a proud tradition of excellence within the New York Wing and the Civil Air Patrol that spans generations. To our senior members, cadre, and support staff, this encampment would not be possible without your selfless service. You gave your time, your energy, and your hearts to mentor and guide these cadets. You gave them not just instruction, but inspiration. You all have forever changed lives at this encampment. And to my command staff, you all built the structure, culture, and spirit that held this encampment together. The tone you set from day one shaped everything that followed. To the cadet cadre, this week was your leadership crucible. You were the mentors, the motivators, the standard bearers. You carried the burden of responsibility, often without recognition, and you all rose to the occasion. Your leadership has made a lasting impact on these cadets that will ripple far beyond this base. But before I return to the graduates, I want to take a moment to recognize a group of unsung heroes at this encampment, our TAC officers. year, we had 9 exceptional senior members assigned directly to each of the 9 cadet flights. Their mission wasn't just oversight. It was mentorship. These officers were with their cadets from reveille to lights out. They observed every drill, every lesson, every struggle, and every victory. They provided guidance, discipline, encouragement, and at times, just a quiet presence when it was needed the most. They didn't just watch these cadets grow. They helped shape that growth. Each TAC officer played a pivotal role in developing these future leaders sitting before us today. Their impact will be felt long after this encampment ends. And TAC officers, I just want to thank you for walking beside all of these cadets in their leadership journey. Thank you. Now, back to our graduating class, 2025 Academy. This week was your foundation. What you do next will define you and who you are. Take what you've learned and bring it back to your squadrons, your schools, your families, and your communities. Be the leader when others are looking for one. Be the light in the moment of doubt. And always remember the courage it took to keep going when this week got hard. Because life will test you again. And now, each and every one of you know you will overcome. One of my favorite quotes comes from General Powell. He said, "Leadership is solving problems. The day soldiers stop bringing you their problems is the day you have stopped leading them." You just completed a week of problem solving, learning to listen, to adapt, to lead from the front and sometimes behind. And now you can carry those skills with humility and confidence. We need you, and America needs you. Not just as cadets, but as young men and women of honor, purpose, and resilience. You are the future of Civil Air Patrol. You are the future leaders of this country, and I have no doubt that you will rise to that call. As we prepare to close this incredible week together, I want to leave you with a reminder, a compass of your continued journey as leaders in Civil Air Patrol and future leaders of this nation. Carry with you these following principles of leadership. Fortitude, to face every challenge with strength and resolve. Justice, to lead with fairness, integrity, and a deep sense of right and wrong. And redemption, because growth comes from reflection, from learning, and from rising stronger than you were the day before. You came here as cadets. You leave here as disciplined, driven, and now grounded with a purpose. Hold your head high, stand proud, and remember this moment. You are the new graduates of the 2025 NYWG Encampment, and that means something. Congratulations to all the in-flights, and before we move on, I just have one question I want to ask you guys.
Where are we going? What are we going to do when we get there?
aim high, semper vigilance, and God bless America. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call our commandant for the 2025 New York YWG Encampment, Captain Jacob Enty.
Good morning. Good morning, cadets, parents, and distinguished guests. It has been my privilege this week to spend time with the cadets in front of me, watching them grow and challenge themselves and push to overcome obstacles. Encampment is often called a leadership sandbox, a place where you get to practice, you get to make mistakes in an environment of trusted mentors and leaders, and learn from them, and learn from that experience. And this week, that is exactly what I saw. I saw cadets push through exhaustion. I saw friendships form over shared struggle. And more importantly, I saw the Civil Air Patrol core values: integrity, respect, excellence, and volunteer service. Not just talked about, but lived out. To the cadets and the cadet cadre, congratulations. I can say this wholeheartedly. You have earned every accolade you are getting. You have had a tremendous week. I've had the chance to work very closely with all of you, and I could not be more proud. You stood up to the challenge, and in doing so, you've taken the first real step in your journey as a leader. It is a long journey, but I am thrilled to see where it will take each of you. The future of this organization, the future of this country, and our communities rests in the hands of the leaders sitting in front of you. If this week is any indication, that future is in very good hands. Congratulations to the graduating class of the New York Wing 2025 Encampment.
Thank you, Captain Enty. For more official remarks, before I get there, I just want to say I couldn't be any more proud of each and every one of you, especially parents, guardians, visitors. I've seen these cadets from when they first walked through that door, scared, nervous, anxious, and they all did incredible. And to be honest, this was one of the best encampments I have seen in a very long time. I would like to call up our New York Wing Commander, Colonel William F. Martin III.
I'd like to welcome everyone here to an outstanding encampment. I'd like to thank all of our distinguished guests here this morning, General Bishop, and our other guests over here on this side, and all of you parents here as well for taking the time to come up and spend time with us today at this commencement exercise. As you've already heard several times, This is a recognition of the journey for all the cadets here this week, starting from brand new first day in flight where maybe they were even completely unsure as to what was going to happen over this week to now saying, yeah, I want to come back. How come we can't until we 1 week long? I remember speaking to someone yesterday, said it used to be several decades ago, 2 weeks long. But now it's 1 week, so you have maybe a few days less than they did back in the day, but it is still an outstanding program. And I'd like to, on behalf of all of you, thank all the people up here and throughout this hangar that actually put this together. Let's give them all a round of applause. One of my favorite things to do during my time here this week was to go over to the DFAC, the dining facility. I don't know if you think, they want to get something to eat. No, actually, well, the food there was really good. Actually, what did all of you think of the food? One of my favorite things to do was to go inside, get something to drink, and then just stand there with all the cadets in and get coffee each and every one of them. I've seen a lot of familiar faces here, and I think I did that every day I was here, and it was great because we have so many outstanding young men and women here in our cadet group. And they are some of the most motivated people that you will ever meet. And they are also some of the most polite people you will ever meet. And I'd forgotten because last year was my first encampment as the wing commander, and my first time walking to the DFAC, there was a whole line of cadets waiting to get inside, probably already somewhere on the inside. But as I'm walking up there, all of a sudden I see a staff doing and saying, "Good afternoon, sir," or "Good evening, sir," or whatever time of day it was. Sir. And I'd forgotten that we had really experienced that. And every time I saw them, or if I asked somebody, walk along a sidewalk or out in the field or something like that, everybody was extremely polite. But that politeness isn't just for show, it represents an inner strength and inner feeling with everybody. Because not only would the cadets come up to me and say, "Good afternoon, sir, good evening, sir," but they would also say, "How's your day? How was your day today? Enjoying the encampment?" And I could tell it wasn't just for the faith or something like that. They really did care what I had to do. And that's several have also said, "Thank you for spending time with us." And thank you for letting me spend time with you. And by the way, that comment from for those of you who said that meant an awful lot to me. Right? Because sometimes when you get to a higher up position in an organization, you feel like you're maybe a little more distant from the people who you're actually working with. Right? I think my job is working for all of you, not the other way around. I may have a higher rank than all of you in the audience here, but that doesn't matter to me. Okay, to me, my job is to serve the people within this wing, over 2,200 of us. That's pretty cool, isn't it? We're the biggest wing in all of the Northeast region. We're one of the biggest wings in the whole country. And it's not just that we're a large wing, we're a fantastic wing, because when you see the quality of this program that went on all week long, when you see the outstanding quality of that task we do, it's something special. When we sat down here this morning, General Bishop came to me and said, "That was a review talking about the task we do." And he meant he's seen a lot more of these than any of us have heard. So, one of the other things that I found interesting is the feedback, and this is after I got done talking to that salon, I get something to eat and I'd sit down. And I think it was my very first day here earlier this week. Somebody came up with me. And they had a pen in one hand. Can anybody tell me what they probably had in the other hand? A hat. What did they want me to do with that pen and hat? They wanted me to sign the hat. This was a relatively new phenomenon for me because I was up here last year and I don't remember anybody asking me that. And I can tell you, just like a common cold, it was very contagious because I stopped eating whatever I was eating. Like, yeah, sure, I can sign for that. So I signed it, and then I woke up, and guess what? I think I signed about 6,000 hats. Now, when you count up all the cadets here in this room, and I'll save you the trouble, it's just a little over 200, I figured that, oh, maybe a few surplus hats. I expect to see a few on eBay later this week. Put the money into a good cause, college education or... All right. I got a quote here from a movie, a partial one. I think all of you will know it, recognize it. I'm going to start it off, and I want all of you to finish it for me. With great power comes great responsibility. Thank you. And that's something that I know all of you take to heart. Okay? And one of the things that I want to mention about this is we are all role models. Whether you are a first-time encampment in-flight, or whether you are a senior staff member and you've been here 3, 4, 5 times, it doesn't matter. We are all role models for others. I mean, I got that experience sitting there talking to cadets, both coming in the line, sitting at the table, having lunch, or having dinner with you. But even if you were a first-year in-flight, you might be a role model for somebody else. No, not like you are a role model for somebody else. Because maybe somebody is just having a tough day. You heard somebody talk about that earlier, right? If you're having a hard day, maybe you're a little way through yourself to get into the encampment, and as you're moving on, it's get a little bit easier. You work with somebody else. And again, it doesn't matter how long you've been in the organization, you might be the person that helps the other person out. And that is a great responsibility, but it's one that each of us have to take very seriously, because second to protecting each other, that's something that in an organization like this we all need to do. We all need to protect each other, helping each other get through the day, get through the mission, get through whatever little thing you might be working on at that moment in time. That is our second responsibility, something we need to do, should be taken seriously, and I know that we do. One message to all the parents in the back. I was talking to some of you while we were waiting to open the gate early this morning. Whenever I get a chance to speak to our troops like this, one of the things I always like to say is that if you watch the news anymore, and I stopped watching the news a few years ago because it got kind of dismal, but you watch the news, you hear some people talk and they say, oh, the world's going to, the world's going to happen. And, doom and gloom and all these bad things. What's the future going to be like? I was telling them, I said, the future's going to be really bright, because we've got all these young men and women here in the Civil Air Patrol, and I get to work with them all the time, and if you could see what I could see, you know that the future is going to be bright. No question about it. Okay? Now all we have to do is make sure that all you folks get to run things moving forward. Can we do that? Yes, sir! Yeah. By the way, if any of you saw me up front, looking at my phone before I wasn't goofing off, I was actually reviewing it. All right. Prepared for ours now. How many of you were here last year? Okay. You might remember that I started something. Well, I didn't actually start it last year, but I did this last year as my closing remark. And I actually started it up in the Western New York group, which was the first event that I went to as the new wing commander in February of last year. And I'm gonna say we are, and all we were gonna say, does anybody remember? We are New York Wing. That's right. Okay? We are New York Wing. We're gonna do it 3 times. Everybody ready? Yes, sir! Okay, remember, airport, big space, people over there, they need to know we're here. Okay? So each time we do it, amp up the volume and the push a little bit more. Okay? So we are. We are. We are. Above and beyond every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel Martin. At this time, I would like to present our keynote speaker, General Bishop. General Bishop is dual-hatted as the Chief of Staff for the New York Air National Guard, and he also serves as the Air National Guard Assistant to the Commander of the Continental North American Airspace Command Alert Region. As Chief of Staff, General Bishop serves as the primary advisor on all Guard matters to the Adjutant General. He is responsible for establishing policy and monitoring operations of more than 5,800 airmen assigned to 5 flying units and 4 geographically separated support units. General Bishop is a graduate of the U.S. Air Force Basic Military School in Lackland Air Force Base, Texas, and Columbia College. His first assignment was at the 174th Fighter Wing right here in Syracuse, New York. He served as an F-19 Avionics Intermediate Service Maintenance Specialist. While assigned with the 174th, he deployed in 1991 to the 4th PFW Provisional in Saudi Arabia. In 1993, Colonel Bishop earned his commission through the Academy of Military Science at McGee Tyson Air National Guard Base. He completed weapons director training at Tyndall Air Force Base in 1994, and years later, the 113th was tasked with the NORAD mission at the Northeast Air Defense Sector in Rome, and Brigadier General Bishop served as part of the initial cadre of personnel who transitioned the air defense missile from active duty to the Air National Guard. He has also served as the commander of the 224th Support Squadron from February 2018 to February 2019. As the commander of the Eastern Air Defense Sector, prior to his current assignment, General Bishop served as the commander of the Eastern Air Defense Sector located nearby in Rome, New York. So I'd like to call up keynote speaker, General Bishop. Thank you.
Hello. You guys got me to squat down a little bit. So, as was mentioned, I've seen a couple of passing reviews. Had an opportunity to participate in 1989 at Lackland Air Force Base, then again in 1993 when I became commissioned. And is the adjutant here from the parade passing review? Where's she at? Where's the adjutant? Fantastic job. You have the hardest job. All eyes are on you, and you ran right out from under your hat. So, well done. Thanks again for the honor of being here. Senator Ryan, good morning. Colonel Miley, good morning. Senior Master Sergeant Addison and Rick Chisholm. You guys hired him somewhere. So, gracious hosts here representing the 174th Attack Wing, not the Tactical Fighter Wing, not anymore. And what just a fantastic facility. So, on behalf of Major General Raymond Shields, the New York State Adjutant General, it is my honor to represent the New York headquarters here today over Civil Air Patrol. Major Cassidy, fantastic to see. I'm really sad I didn't know you when I was 15 years old to have an opportunity to participate. So, well done. My friend, hope everybody. Your commitment to this success and the importance, dedication to the students and members of the Civil Air Patrol, truly monumental. So congratulations, and congratulations to all the graduates today. So as my bio mentioned, I started here at the 174th Attack Wing. I enlisted in the Air National Guard in 1988. Became aware of a really cool mission that was going on here with A-10 attack planes. And so it was a different era, different job for the Air Force back then. And the role of the A-10 was to go to Europe and shoot Russian tanks with an amazing 30mm Gatling gun. I was all for it. I said, let's go do that. So I joined the Guard. I went away. I got trained. Got my technical training. And when I came back from technical training, there were F-16s here. Somebody had taken all of them. What is going on? So the mission transitioned from A-10 to F-16. Some folks thought, well, if you just put a gun on the bottom of the F-16, you can still shoot those guns. So you had shaking. It didn't quite work out that well. So it became a general purpose F-16, and that's okay because we adapted to the mission change. Everybody learned their new role. And everybody became commissioned. There were 2 control squadrons here. They were part of the mobile command and control structure of the Air Force back in the early 90s. And over on the other side of the base, I joined the 113th Air Control Squadron, and their mission also super cool. I wanted to be a part of. 6 months out of the year, typically in the winter, they would deploy to the Caribbean with their mobile radars to detect and report and intercept drug runners, so to keep the illegal narcotics flow out of the southern United States. So I joined that unit, I got commissioned, I went to Tyndall, I learned how to control airplanes, and when I came back, everybody was emptying the safes and they were shredding everything, and they said, we're moving it wrong. What are we going to do with it wrong? That's when I learned about the NORAD mission. The NORAD Homeland Defense mission became my next passion. And so that's where I spent my time from the second lieutenant up through colonel, defending the homeland. What started off as two air defense locations. The horrible tragedy of 9/11 made us rethink how we're going to defend our country. So today, when I go down to Florida to execute my dual hat job in the Homeland Defense Enterprise, there are now 14 alert fighter units across the United States with Coast Guard helicopters in D.C. Defending the homeland. The Civil Air Patrol is an important element of what we do at 1st Air Force, and the connective tissue is through the Air Force Rescue Coordination Center. So as you guys are familiar with the role of the Civil Air Patrol, that unit had nearly 2,000 civilians rescued directly, and a lot of them was because of the capabilities of the Civil Air Patrol as auxiliary of the Air Force cannot be overstated. I had the opportunity to do the encampment Thursday morning. I had somebody in a small classroom. A larger group. You guys were coming in. I think the lesson was wear the uniform. So I thought long and hard about that this morning, and if you had any criticism or feedback for the uniform, please see Colonel Miley. He checked the staff, unbelievable. The behind the scenes work that they do. Thursday, I've heard a lot of people talk about the food at the DPAC. So my time at the DPAC almost never had anything to do with food, but it's where I went to school part-time at night to finish my 4-year degree at Columbia College. So also on Thursday, I was invited to do the restroom facilities. Nobody said anything about the food at the DPAC. So I don't know if there's a course critique on there. You should bring guests for food too, Michael. I was so impressed meeting, I think it was the color guard primarily. We were in a small classroom. We had an opportunity to have a discussion. The thoughtful and meaningful questions they had for me really caused me to do some introspection and to think about things that maybe I hadn't thought of for a long time. So thanks very much for that. Congratulations to all of you for your role in completing the encampment. And to the parents in the back, to the parents, everybody, what a fitting occasion that today is National Parents Day. So well done. Congratulations. I believe very firmly in serendipity, when the universe brings you at the right place at the right time for an unknown reason. And in my heart, I know it's serendipity that today's National Parents Day, probably not because of anybody's perfect plan. To the students, I say thank you. Thank you for your decision making. Thank all of you for your desire to participate in an organization that is integral to serving the United States. Thank you for your support for one another. I know it takes immense teamwork and cooperation to complete this rigorous week. And finally, thank you for your inspiration, your enthusiasm, your relentless pursuit of knowledge, your kindness, your demonstrated support for one another, and your dedication to the success of the team. You all give me great hope for our collective future. When it's time for us old guys to move on and hand off responsibility to our next cadre of leaders, be it military or in the community, I know our nation is in great hands because it's in your hands. Please keep learning and please keep leading. Lead with confidence. That means being the best that you can be at your assigned task and never stopping until you're as good as you can be. Lead with consistency. That doesn't mean there's a cookie cutter answer to every problem. It means your methodology and your processes need to be predictable and workable, and that folks around you understand what's going on in your mind. Lead with compassion. We're all human. We're all made up of the same structures inside of us. Never forget the trials and tribulations the people next to you are going through. And lead with humility. Lead with humility. Lead with humility. And finally, lead from your heart with great love for your fellow human, and you'll keep our nation safe and resilient. Thank you again for the pleasure to be here. It's truly been an honor.
All right. I have an honest question for the students here. How many of you guys miss your phone? Raise your hand if you miss your phone. All right. I know you all do, so I promise you we only have about 4.5 more hours to go with this. You'll get your phone, I promise. At this time, I would like to call up Senator Ryan, one of our distinguished visitors here at the encampment, just to say some few remarks. So, Senator.
I've never had to follow a speech given by a general before, so this is a good thing. So thank you for having me. Thank you for all of the distinguished privileges and careers up here. It's overwhelming. This is, there's good days and bad days, like everything being a senator. What a great day this is to be in a company that's awesome people, future leaders. And I thank you guys already said it, but thank you to the parents, to the young men and women here. There's a lot of people behind you. They got you here today. They got you here today, not literally, but figuratively. You never miss an opportunity to thank them. Make sure you thank them every day for all that they do for you, because you wouldn't be here for them. And again, thank you for being here. It's overwhelming. The awesomeness of what you guys are doing. To the cadets, you have chosen a path that reflects courage, discipline, and service. Values, not just but our highest levels of democracy here, but civil air control. I think we're at a time when younger people in this country are looking to take, to do other things. You're not. You stepped up. And you said, how can I serve? That's impactful, that speaks volumes of your character. You have been challenged this week, and I think that's the point, but in teamwork, structure, and leadership, you have prevailed, and I can't wait to see what great public servants that you will become. Talk about service. Service comes in many forms. Whether you choose to wear a uniform for the rest of your working life or serve your community in other ways, the skills that you learned here this week and you've gained will shape those services and will shape your lives to come. As a state senator, I can tell you, I represent 319,000 people are proud of me today. And, I'll go out and say it, we're part of our country, we're looking for leaders. We need leaders. We need people like you, leadership, service, discipline. But, I just want to say one more thing. A few minutes ago, 10, 15 minutes ago, you said win the day. Win the day. Just a little advice. There's going to be days that you're going to win, and there's going to be days that you're not going to win. Those days are going to be adverse. But I will tell you this one. Adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. So just know what you learned here this week, what helped you overcome adversity, and you will win that day. I promise you will win that day. And I'm going to be leaving here today knowing that our future generation is so much better with you outstanding men and women in it. I have a great feeling when I leave here. So thank you, congratulations. And I cannot.
At this time, I would like to begin. After the cadets, you guys ready for some awards? Yes, sir! All right. We do have a canon awards, and these cadets have traveled with us this past week, and we'd like to spotlight every cadet in each flight, honor cadet A, honor flight, awarded flight, TAC officer. So we will be going into that. Before I do that, we do have a special presentation that we would like to start with. I am pleased to have Colonel Martin and General Bishop, Lieutenant Colonel Anger, Lieutenant Colonel Brodsky, Colonel Jones. May I please have Lieutenant Colonel Laura Burns come forward. Lieutenant Colonel Burns, are you here also? Personnel action, Civil Air Patrol National Headquarters, number 45. The Civil Air Patrol Distinguished Service Award is awarded to Lieutenant Colonel Barbara A. Burns for distinguished performance of duty with New York Wing Encampment during the period 1 January 1990 to 31 December 2024. Lieutenant Colonel Burns has just completed her 35th year of NYWG Encampment and has been in an integral role and played a pivotal role every year in those 35 years. I'm going to begin by just reading the citation to accompany the award. Lieutenant Colonel Barbara Burns, CAP, distinguished herself by exceptionally outstanding service to the Civil Air Patrol as a key member of NYWG's Encampment team for 35 years. Her conspicuous performance of outstanding service and a duty of great responsibility has impacted the Civil Air Patrol on a national scale. During that time, she held multiple positions of great responsibility up to and including serving as Encampment Commander. Through her tireless commitment, mentoring, developing, and guiding the next generation of leaders, Lieutenant Colonel Burns has demonstrated outstanding devotion to the success of cadets within the Civil Air Patrol. The exceptional leadership and dedication of Lieutenant Colonel Burns over the course of 3 decades of service to the NYWG Encampment resulted in the graduation of over 4,500 in-flight cadets from across the NYWG. Her active involvement, even as the encampment locations have changed over the years, made her a key player in shifting from outdated and ineffective methodologies to a more modern leadership encampment model. This transformation fostered a positive learning environment where cadets could develop into strong and ethical leaders, aligning with the Civil Air Patrol's core values. Lieutenant Colonel Burns was instrumental in the stand-up of the encampment at its new location at Hancock Field Air National Guard Base after the unexpected loss of the previous location. She was present for all the site visits, meetings with the Air National Guard unit, and the initial bench. Continuing her commitment to improving encampment processes, she has been a key contributor to the new registration zone, collaborating with national headquarters to integrate several of her self-built software solutions into the e-services platform. Her years of expertise in encampment management has been invaluable and understanding the need for continuity and preparing for the future for the last several years. Lieutenant Colonel Burns has made it her mission to train members to perform duties for the encampment that have been her responsibility for decades. This has resulted in a smooth transition of responsibilities from Lieutenant Colonel Burns while she acts as a mentor in real time. Her leadership and mentorship have set a shining example of what it means to serve with honor and dedication in the pursuit of excellence. Her unwavering dedication, forward thinking, innovation, and steadfast leadership have left an enduring impact on the NYWG and the Civil Air Patrol as a whole. Her contributions have shaped the future of encampment management, ensuring the cadets receive the best possible experience in leadership development. The outstanding service of Lieutenant Colonel Burns reflects the highest credit upon herself, the NYWG, in the Civil Air Patrol and is hereby awarded the Distinguished Service Medal effective this date, 2025. So, everyone behind me, we have Lieutenant Colonel Granda, former New York Wing Encampment Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Randy Anger, former New York Wing Encampment Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Dan Brodsky, former New York Wing Commander, Colonel John Jones, former New York Wing Commander, Major Paige Cassidy, she is the Executive Officer for this year's encampment, and then Colonel Martin, current New York Wing Commander. All these people have worked very closely with Lieutenant Colonel Burns, and I would like to bring up Lieutenant Colonel Anger to say a few words about Lieutenant Colonel Burns.
For her many years of service to the New York Wing Encampment. As a former encampment commander, I know firsthand the time and dedication that Colonel Burns has put into this activity. Colonel Burns' skills in leadership, organization, systems design have helped the encampment operate more efficiently over the years. But Burns has done much more than this. She's been an outstanding example to all of us. She's been a mentor and a friend. Colonel Burns, thank you for your service to all of New York Wing's cadets and senior members. Congratulations so much.
The last term of encampment commander's Major Colonel Granda, was previously Major Granda and recently promoted to Lieutenant Colonel Granda. We'd also like to say a few words about Lieutenant Colonel Granda.
Good afternoon. I had the distinct honor of working closely with Lieutenant Colonel Burns when they canceled the first two encampments that I was going to be the commander for, first because of COVID, and then because we lost Stratton Air National Guard. And she and I put our heads together, along with a few others, Colonel Jones, and we said, let's do it at Hancock Field. We spent several months, and we had several long trips, day trips from Newburgh, New York, further for her, because she was in New York City, drove up to Newburgh, and we drove another 3 hours up here to meet with the base staff and try to get this, what you see here now, going. And I've learned a lot from her, and I appreciate her, and thank you for all you have done, man. I salute you.
Thank you, Colonel Granda, and thank you, Colonel Burns. It was something in making for many, many months and a lot of hard work. We try to keep it a very big secret, and I hope we succeeded in that one. So, thank you for everything you've done for the past 35 years. And I have another 2 years for encampment commander. And I hope to see each and every one of you here on the staff. Hopefully, you will sign up next year as staff. And thank Colonel Burns for your continued support and mentorship, because I would not have been able to do this without you. So thank you. All right, we're gonna move on and get into some milestone awards for recognition. There are a few members that recently earned milestone awards prior to arriving at the encampment. We would like to have a presentation regarding such. So, for the first milestone award, we have the General Billy Mitchell Award. The General Billy Mitchell Award honors a fearless pilot whose patriotism, foresight, and tenacity surpassed the ridicule he faced. The father of the independent Air Force, Billy Mitchell led an aerial bombing demonstrating the sinking of the surplus German battleship Ostfriesland in 1921. The Navy had said that such a feat would be impossible, but the Army remained skeptical toward air power. Mitchell continued his all-out public campaign for air power, even facing court-martial for his persistence. He knew that in the new aeronautical era, military air power, operating independently of ground and sea forces, needed to be the first line of defense. Not until World War II did the full U.S. military realize how right he was. After the Allied victory by a special act of Congress, Mitchell was awarded a gold medal. With General Mitchell as their role model, cadet officers know that speaking truth to power is a moral duty. The Mitchell Award marks the completion of Phase 2 in the cadet program, recognizing sustained excellence in all 4 areas of cadet life: leadership, aerospace, fitness, and character. Further, Mitchell cadets must have completed a week-long encampment, here we are, immersing them in a challenging core values and STEM environment. The U.S. Air Force respects Mitchell Award recipients and cadets who enlist in the Air Force enter the service at the advanced grade of E3. The service also looks favorably upon Mitchell cadets when evaluating AFRTC and Academy applicants. Once a cadet earns the Mitchell Award, he or she becomes a cadet officer, is promoted to the grade of second lieutenant, and is challenged to lead and serve junior ranking cadets while continuing to develop into a dynamic American and aerospace leader. At this time, may I please have Cadet Second Lieutenant Asim Mangra, front and center.
Our next milestone award is the Amelia Earhart Award. Amelia Earhart Award honors an aviatrix, writer, and champion for civil rights who set many records in aviation history. Before her famous disappearance, during her attempt to become the first woman to circumnavigate the globe. Adored by the public, Earhart spoke and wrote about the romance of aviation. The stars seem near enough to touch, and never before have I seen so many, she wrote, of one record-setting flight. I always believed the lure of flying is lure of beauty, but I was sure of it that night. The Amelia Earhart Award marks completion of Phase 3 of the Civil Air Patrol Cadet Program, recognizing sustained excellence in all 4 areas of cadet life: leadership, aerospace, fitness, and character. Further, Earhart Award cadets must have passed a comprehensive leadership examination. Once a cadet earns the Amelia Earhart Award, he or she is promoted to the grade of cadet captain and is challenged to lead and serve junior ranking cadets, not just in their hometown squadron, but around their wing or state as well. Perhaps the award's most coveted benefit is that the Earhart cadets become eligible to represent the United States in the International Air Cadet Exchange. After earning the Earhart Award, only Phase 4 of the cadet program and the prestigious bachelor examination remains for the young person to conquer as a Civil Air Patrol cadet. In granting CAP permission to name this milestone award in Amelia's honor, her sister said that it would have been the kind of award Amelia would have chosen for herself. If I call your name, please come up. Cadet Captain Nolan McCall. Cadet Captain Mariah Anderson. Captain Billy Evans. Cadet Captain Billy Evans. And Cadet Captain Ariba Ali.
For those who do not know what's going on, Colonel Martin is currently awarding the recipients Commander's Challenge Point from New York Wing. Congratulations to the Earhart recipients. You are dismissed. Thank you. I'd like to call your conduct of cadets 2025 New York Wing Encampment to read about the IRC Acre Milestone Award, which is for the rank of Cadet Lieutenant Colonel. Presenting will be Senator Ryan.
General IRC Eager Award, launched in 1998. It is the CAP Cadet Program's second most prestigious award, honoring one of the forefathers of an independent Air Force. With General, then Major, Carl Spatz, in 1929, eager remain aloft aboard Question Mark, a modified Atlantic over C-29, nearly a week to demonstrate a newfound capability of aerial refueling. During World War II, Eaker rose to the grade of Lieutenant General, commanded the 8th Air Force, mighty 8th Force of strategic bombers. Even as general, Eaker preferred to lead from the front, personally flying B-17 precision bomber missions over occupied France and Germany. The Eaker Award marks completion of Phase 4 of the cadet programs, recognizing sustained excellence in all 4 areas of cadet life: leadership, aerospace, fitness, and character. Further, cadets will have graduated from academically intensive leadership academy to qualify for this honor, which is especially appropriate considering that today, the Air Force celebrates General Eaker's legacy by naming the service's top school for commanders in his honor, the IRC Eaker Center for Professional Development at Air University, Maxwell Air Force Base, Alabama. To stand in General Eaker's shadow is to study leadership carefully and to serve others. Once a cadet earns the General IRC Eaker Award, he or she is promoted to the grade of Cadet Lieutenant Colonel and is challenged to lead and serve junior ranking cadets, not just in the hometown squadron, but around the wing and state as well. After earning the Eaker Award, only the prestigious spots award examination remains for the young person to conquer as a captain cadet. I would like to call up the following individuals to be presented. Cadet, Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Anderson. I would also like to call up Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Kyle Golden.
Have a few more awards to go through before we get right to the Encampment Awards. For those of you who have seen the new 787 building, where we currently have the showers and bathroom area, that was a project that the wing has been working tirelessly on for the past 5 to 6 months. You want to talk about servant leadership? We've had a previous Northeast Region deputy commander in there, painting, scrubbing floors, scrubbing walls, whatever else Colonel Crowley was doing. He was doing a lot. But it was a tireless effort that many members have spent hours, days, weeks, and months working on this project. And Colonel Martin and General Bishop would like to recognize one member who had just received the Exceptional Service Award to Colonel John J.J. Jones. All right, coming up, the next one is Colonel Miley. He is currently representing the 174th Battalion due to our big commander, Colonel John O'Connor, who could not make it. But we had a meritorious service award for meritorious service in the duty of great responsibility from April 1st, 2025 to July 1st, 2025, awarded to Colonel Thomas Corrella. Last but not least, we just have a few Wing Commander Commendation Awards to hand out, and Colonel Martin, and all assist for that. If I call your name, please come forward. First Lieutenant April Peterson. Major Gerard Ward. Major James Harmon, if you are here. Major Joseph Gallo. Lieutenant Colonel Christian Ronda. Congratulations. Begins. Encampment Awards. How are we doing, cadets? Outstanding, sir! All right, we're going to begin Honor Operations Staff Member. This award is typically recommended by the Commandant, referring with other departments to come up with this decision. But this year's Honor Operations Staff is Cadet First Lieutenant Daniel Lynn, Hotel Flight Attendant. Honor Executive NCO. This is typically recommended by the senior member executive officer as well as mentors from the executive department with insight from the cadet deputy commander of support. This year's Honor Executive NCO is Cadet Chief Master Sergeant Sarah Hartman, Medical NCO. It's the same executive award, but this one's given to a officer. The last one was an NCO, this one was an officer. So this year's Honor Executive Officer goes to Cadet Captain Lily Evan, Administration. At this time, we're going to recognize Honor Cadet of individual flights. If I call your name, you please stand up and come forward to get a command point. Honor Cadet for Alpha Flight. Cadet Senior Airman Ethan Davis. Bravo Flight. Cadet Staff Sergeant Ronald Pasta. Charlie Flight. Cadet Staff Sergeant Tiberius Lee. Delta Flight. Cadet Airman Josephine Stewart. Echo Flight. Cadet Senior Airman Aaron Zhang. Foxtrot Flight. Cadet Senior Master Sergeant Anna Marzukowicz. Golf Flight. Cadet Chief Master Sergeant Michael Lee. Hotel Flight. Cadet Chief Master Sergeant Rosalie Sampson. India Flight. Cadet Senior Airman Alexander Pierce. Last but not least, the Advanced Training Flight. May I please have Cadet Master Sergeant Sasha Brandenburg come forward. Congratulations. I just want to recognize each and every one of these cadets. Typically in a flight, you have about 12 to 15 other students in the flight, and these cadets were the outstanding ones in terms of leadership and development in their flights. So congratulations. The next award is newly named this year the Lieutenant Colonel Janet Schaffner Memorial Award. This award goes to the Encampment Honor Cadet. This cadet is the shining star of the entire encampment, and just to give a little brief history, Lieutenant Colonel Janet Schaffner was another pivotal force behind the New York Wing encampments. Fortunately, she has since passed away many years ago, about 2017, I believe, and she's dearly missed, but she was alongside with many other members within the encampment team that worked tirelessly to make this encampment as to what it is today. So this year's Encampment Honor Cadet is from Delta Flight, and it is awarded to Cadet Staff Sergeant Noah Fitch. Congratulations. This year's Honor Flight goes to, and when I call the flight, if the flight commander and flight lead will step forward. But this year's Honor Flight goes to Echo Flight. So what Honor Flight, you are getting a certificate in your graduation package. commending you for distinguished graduate as honor flight, and you are also receiving honor flight medals for the 2025 New York Wing Encampment for each flight member, TAC officer included. So congratulations to each and every one of you. Congratulations to Cadet Second Lieutenant Mangala, who is the Honor Flight Commander, and the Honor Flight Lead, being Cadet Chief Master Sergeant Alexander Holman. Congratulations. Next one we're going to go to is Honor Squadron. So for those who know, we have two squadrons at encampment. We have Alpha through Echo in Squadron 1 and Foxtrot through India in Squadron 2. So many flights make up a squadron. This year's Honor Squadron goes to Squadron 2. Receiving the award is Cadet Captain Ariba Ali, Squadron 2 Commander, and Cadet Chief Master Sergeant Dominic, the First Sergeant. Next, we have Warrior Flight. This year's Warrior Flight, the 2025 New York Wing Encampment. And again, when I call the flight, please come forward and flight lead and flight commander come forward. This year's Warrior Flight goes to Charlie Flight. Cadet Captain Mercedes is the flight commander, and Master Sergeant Williams is the flight lead. Congratulations. One more award before we get the ball rolling here. This award is the Major Mary Lou Falco Honor TAC Award. So this is a very important award for the encampment TAC officers. They work really hard throughout the week, as I had stated in my speech. And you know, we have 9, and of course, everyone worked tirelessly, and it was. It's a thankless job. I appreciate TAC officers to no end, and we couldn't run this encampment without you. This year's Honor TAC Officer Award goes to Major Jonathan McGarvey.
you all the microphone time, I would like to call up your 2025 Encampment Cadet Commander, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Jonah Hendy.
All right. I'm not going to have a mic, but I'll make it quick. Let's see what losers do with me. How are you doing today, Encampment? I really want you. I don't have a whole lot of notes. I know I was thinking about it yesterday. It's not really how I like to do these. So I'll make it quick. I am unbelievably proud of how far all of you have come this week. I sat each and every one of you down for the honor agreement when you were in processing, and I saw the way you guys came in, and I see the way you're sitting here now, and it is absolutely night and day. I'm incredibly proud of the progress you have made throughout this week. You've really inspired me. Having been in this program, I was sitting where you guys were sitting 7 years ago, different pace, but same thing. And I was terrified of this. It was absolutely nerve-wracking. I know it is not an easy week. And you, all of you cadets, students and staff, have done really amazing work. I'm unbelievably proud of you. I respect each and every one of you. You've really done amazing work. Students, once again, everything that has been said before me, I would like to reiterate everything. You have been challenged to take what you have learned this week and apply it to wherever you go from here on out. Whether that's coming back to the encampment, whether that's taking that with you for the rest of your careers, your lives, become better people, become better leaders. It's up to you to use the lessons that you've learned this week. I hope you've prepared you well for wherever you go. And from what I've seen, I really have no worries that each and every single one of you will succeed with wherever life takes you. To the staff, flight staff, raise your hands. All right, to the lower one. I am so incredibly proud of what you guys have accomplished this week. Each and every one of you have really blown me away. You've really inspired me. I know this was not an easy week once again. Flight staff is where I hail from. I do a lot of flight staff typically. That is more when I'm used to it being encampment, and I know it is a tireless job. You are constantly putting out fires, you're constantly teaching, you're constantly on display. There's not a lot of downtime for you, and you really excelled in such a hard and stressful environment. I am incredibly proud of where you come from and incredibly grateful for the effort that you put into this week. It really, really means a lot. This encampment would not have happened without you guys and your efforts. So thank you. That's on my heart. Support staff. Likewise, this encampment does not run without you. And I told you this the other night, but I am so deeply thankful for the amount of effort you have put in behind the scenes. Not everything you do is put to light as the flight staff is there all out in the field. A lot of what you do is behind the scenes. And without every single support staff member at this encampment, this would not have gone on the way it did. It was an exceptional week. It was the best encampment I've ever been a part of. My 8th encampment, so I've been to a few. And I can say very confidently that this was the best support staff I've ever been able to witness at an encampment. So thank you. It really means a lot. Not seen eye to eye on any issue. We worked through a lot, trust me. And if it wasn't for the amount of tireless effort from the senior and staff, once again, you would not be sitting at your encampment if you are currently graduating. So thank you all. Also, what really would have worked is if I did not have my excellent deputy team. Without my deputies, this encampment would have been an absolute mess. They put so much work into this. For the months leading up to it, the entire week, they were constantly running around doing out fires. If either one of them wasn't here, my life would have been hell for the past week. And I had, honestly, an almost uncomfortably easy week because of how much effort these schools put in. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being out doing something for this encampment. Throughout my cadet career, and I can say for 100% certain I would not be here if I did not have my family to support me the way I have. I had just over a month before I flipped to senior member. I've been a cadet since I turned 12. I started attending meetings before that because of my brother in my program. I had a very full cadet career. I've had a lot of hardships, a lot of wins, a lot of losses. If I did not have the support structure of New York wing around me, I don't think I would have stayed in this program. This encampment is really the reason through a lot of hardship why I stayed in this program. And I really urge all of you, come back. It really is a hell of a time. You don't understand how much leadership development and character development that this encampment has on you until you staff. So students, I know you just finished the week, but I'm really telling you guys, come back. It is an unbelievable opportunity. And each and every one of you in this
Encampment, Bravo.